In Alberta today, you could be excused for wondering if the Flames or the Oilers were selling NHL playoff tickets. Hundreds of people, hours in line, queues snaking along city sidewalks. But no one was thinking slap shots. This was all about flu shots. And the goal wasn't a box office, just a pharmacy counter. The CBC's Chris Brown looks at what's driving a sudden fever.
Given the choice between joining the flu shot frenzy or ignoring it, a lot of people in Alberta today played it safe and got the vaccine.
I wasn't going to get one this year, but since there's been such a big outbreak, I figure I should go for it.
At clinics all over Alberta, the wait in line was measured in hours.
We got here just after 9, so it's almost 11, so hopefully it looks like there's only a few more people ahead of us.
I think should be fun, but you never know, so that's why I'm here.
The season started off with a very low flu shot rate, but now it's the opposite. There may not be enough vaccine for everyone in Alberta or even BC who wants it.
I heard the news people, died this year.
Many pharmacies in Alberta ran out of their free supply today. Most of the province's reserves and clinics could be gone by the weekend. British Columbia may only be a week behind.
The unusualness of this year is that the flu is actually attacking very healthy, normally healthy individuals that are within the age range of 30, 40s, and 50s.
Indeed, a warning from public health officials coupled with reports of dozens of people in intensive care, along with a dozen deaths, seems to have crystallized the urgency. Today, though, now faced with worries of a shortage, health officials appeared to change their message a bit.
We've actually immunized more this year than we ever have. So we've had over 1 million folks immunized in Alberta, which is pretty good. That's admirable. It's more than we've done ever in the past.
In other words, no panic if the vaccine is used up. Having almost a quarter of the population of 2 provinces immunized is a victory for public health.
I think that most high-risk individuals will have been vaccinated by now. We know that people who get vaccinated are typically the ones who get vaccinated each year.
Both BC and Alberta say they'll keep enough vaccine in reserve for kids who need boosters and other high-risk cases. And in a pinch, other provinces such as Nova Scotia have a few thousand doses they can share too. In BC, more than 90,000 doses of flu vaccine were returned to the province last year, which is not what public health officials want to see, but they don't want to overstate the threat and create panic either. Peter.
All right, Chris, thank you. Chris Brown. Well, we learned more today about another dramatic flu story in Alberta. As we reported last night, the continent's first reported case and death from H5N1, also known as bird flu. The CBC's Cass Rusi has the latest developments.
North America's first victim of a deadly bird flu worked at the Red Deer Regional Hospital in Alberta. The woman in her 20s was a healthcare worker here. This is the virus that led to her death, H5N1, and now infectious disease experts are scrambling to unravel clues as to how she got infected. This much is known. The Alberta woman was showing symptoms on a flight from Beijing to Vancouver last month. She checked into an Edmonton hospital on New Year's Day and was dead 2 days later. H5N1 normally only infects birds, mostly chickens, and almost all cases of people getting infected happen when they've been in direct contact with the birds, say in markets. But here's what's got experts stumped. How was the victim, who was traveling with companions to Beijing, exposed?
They did not go outside Beijing, they did not travel to farms, and they were not at markets. So at the moment, that remains a bit of a mystery.
Key to the investigation, retracing the young woman's steps in China.
They are going to go where this person stays or any live markets near. They are going to try to find signs of illness among animals or birds.
But that, says this microbiologist, may prove challenging.
Trying to trace it for somebody who is deceased is a very, very difficult procedure. The fact that it was in another country makes it even more so. So it's not an easy process at all.
Another challenge, China has got its hands full right now trying to cope with several other strains of bird flu.
The H7N9, which is the other bird flu that they're dealing with right now, I would think is going to take priority over this particular case. So it'll be how much emphasis they place on tracing back this particular outbreak.
Health officials repeated today that North America's first case of H5N1 is an isolated one, and that the risk of human-to-human transmission is still very low. Still, the bird flu is on the WHO's radar, and it's looking at any evidence that the virus acquires the ability to spread between people. Cass Rusi, CBC News, Toronto.
Our CBC News online colleagues have collected a raft of information on the flu and on this flu season. You can learn about the various strains of flu, the latest numbers, and much more. Just head to our website at cbcnews.ca/health and then follow the links.